Part 5. You see, when you say something right to a woman, she smiles, tickles her brain, which in turn sends blood flowing down to her sex hole. But her smile could also be deceptive, and could indicate one of 117 different things. Sarcasm, incredulity, condescension, confusion, contemplation, facetiousness. So in the very brief time that Anakin and Padme are together, they decide to get married as well. And don't say it was the will of the Force unless you don't want me to send you a pizza roll. And when I send it to you, I'm gonna shove it up your ass. So other than being a handsome guy, let's analyze what Anakin did to win over Padme. 1. When Anakin first meets Padme, she's like, "Oh, hello." And then she drops an unintentional Freudian phallic reference.
My goodness, you've grown.
Win. Good looks. Then the very first thing that comes out of Anakin's mouth is a very awkward and inappropriately placed compliment.
So have you. Grown more beautiful, I mean.
Inappropriate compliment. She smiles lovingly and dismisses it as nerves. Women don't mind an initial nervousness from a guy. It's complimentary and cute to them. But it gets old real fast. Assertiveness needs to take over quickly. But too much assertiveness and arguing with your boss to impress her comes off as a pathetic and desperate attempt for attention. Inappropriate assertiveness. Next, women like when you ask them questions about things. They like to talk about themselves a lot and don't really care what you have to say. For example, in this next scene, Padme mentions how she's worked for a year on legislation to oppose the Military Creation Act, or something.
I haven't worked for a year to defeat the Military Creation Act.
Even if you could care less about this shit, you just pretend like you do. You can say, "Well, that sounds interesting. Tell me about this piece of legislation." Then she'll start running her mouth, and you could think about sex while she's talking. Occasionally you should nod, and always be prepared with some follow-up questions. Instead, Anakin misses this very obvious lead and immediately starts talking about himself and his Jedi stuff.
I am truly thankful to be his apprentice.
Talking too much about yourself and your job. She doesn't care. Then it gets worse. He starts bitching and complaining about his job and his boss, almost to where it seems like he's gonna start crying.
He's overly critical. He never listens. He doesn't understand.
Keep in mind that this is
It's not
only
fair.
like their second scene together. I can only imagine what she's thinking.
Holy shit, this guy is a fucking annoying whiner. I really can't see myself with him. If he's bitching about this, imagine how he'll act when I want him to go see Wicked with me.
And then... creepy sex looks. And if a woman ever says you're making me uncomfortable,
It makes me feel uncomfortable.
it's usually not a good sign. Unless she's into that sort of thing. So now I guess they go to Naboo.
Don't do anything without first consulting either myself or the council.
Hey man, go ask the council first, because I'm sure they'll just agree to whatever. So it's cool. So they're off on their romantic Italian vacation. It's a girl who's under threat of assassination, and a guy whose training was prophesized to bring grave danger. And they're sending them off together, alone. Why? And yet again, the two most logical, clear-minded guys aren't going along and they just stand there and watch it happen.
Again, it's like poetry, so if they rhyme.
They even placed bets on who's gonna make the first move.
I'd be more concerned about her doing something.
Yeah, this guy knows what's up. So when they're on the transport ship, Padme does a little feeler to see if Anakin and her can fuck in the bathroom.
Are you allowed to laugh? Thought that was forbidden for a Jedi.
Anakin responds with an earnest yet clumsy response about a loophole in the Jedi doctrine about love. This kind of pleases her, so we'll give him a point. Finally, they arrive at the most romantic city in the universe, and Anakin scores a few points early on, carrying her luggage,
I was relieved when my 2 terms were up, but when the Queen asked me to serve as
listening to her prattle on
I couldn't
about
refuse.
herself. For a few minutes, it seems like he's learning, but then he goes back to being a prick.
But I was thinking...
Hold on a minute.
Excuse me.
Interrupting,
Excuse me.
losing temper,
Sorry, milady.
forced apology. Then for no reason they take a ride on a Venetian gondola to a romantic location. But did you ever notice how this is like a space gondola? Like it has the same yellow and silver design elements that the Naboo fighters have? Like everything else has this old world charm to it, but the gondola. I mean, can you squeeze any more romantic cliches into this movie? Oh wait, you can. They could have stuck in the Naboo tower in the background and had them served wine by a waiter in a beret. Oui, Padme, can I take you out to the and give you a and and by the way, what in the hell is she wearing? I mean, really? She's kind of just asking for this guy to use the Force, isn't she? I mean, she might as well just show him where the pinball machine is. So then he stammers on, trying to make some kind of analogy about sand.
It's coarse and rough and irritating, and it gets everywhere.
Which could be the dumbest line ever in movie history. And then she kisses him. And is like,
No.
now go back to looking at my extremely revealing and sexy outfit, you dumb idiot. So their next date is at the waterfall. Anakin tries to discuss politics and admits he supports a fascist dictatorship. Then he rides on a giant pig, and then they roll around. The ladies like it when you roll around with them in the grass, but only if they're awake and not drugged. Later that night, in a romantic fireside setting, Padme is changed into a sexy S&M outfit and teases this guy even more. Then he starts crying.
The closer I get to you, the worse it gets.
Then he starts begging for sex.
I will do anything that you ask.
But she still tells him no because she's a senator?
I'm a senator.
Let the guy get his rocks off! Next, Anakin murders women and children, brings a corpse home, and goes on a psychotic, megalomaniacal rant.
I killed them. I killed them all.
Hi, excuse me.
They're dead.
I'd like to discuss some minor inconsistencies with some of the equipment in this room, and how it's a little different from Episode 4, A New Hope.
Be quiet, this isn't the time.
What?
I hate them.
What's not the right time? What?
This is an emotional moment. Anakin just killed some sand people.
You mean Arabs?
No, you racist, no.
Oh, geez, sorry. I wanted to talk about the control panels.
Why'd she have to die? I will be the most powerful Jedi ever. I will even learn to stop people from dying. He's jealous. I killed them. They're dead. And the children, too. And I slaughtered them like animals.
To be angry is to be human.
And then, even though Anakin's strikes far outweigh his successes, she still marries the guy after knowing him for only like 3 days. You know what? I take it all back. I take back every piece of criticism I ever said about the guy. George Lucas, I present you with the Totally and Completely Understands Women trophy. You've earned it, my friend. You've earned it.
I don't like sand. It's coarse, rough and irritating, and it gets everywhere. Not like here. Here everything is soft and smooth.
This is awful. Just awful.
But I need to share my pain. I need to make others understand.
Pain. It's just a movie, mister.
No, it's not. It's more than that. It's the most disappointing thing in cinematic history. I have a duty to the human race to explain why in detail.
Wow, you really are crazy, mister. Oh my god, is this a fake movie or something? Doesn't look anything like the films I saw when I was a kid. I mean, remember Jabba the Hutt? It was like all gross and grimy and dripping. This is nothing like that. It's too clean. Everything looks too pretty. What the fuck is that?
Very
Who
impressive.
the fuck are these people?